been a while. Kind of miss this. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Elizabeth Tubajika, but you can call me ET. I'm a mother, I'm a creative, I am a storyteller, and I'm just someone who is passionate about helping people get through or grow through the ups and downs of life. Now, for those who have been subscribed, you're probably wondering, where have you been? Life has thrown a few curveballs. Actually, a few is quite an understatement. Life has been lifing. I've been managing a lot through the complexities of being a mother of a beautiful child who happens to have special needs, career transitions. The past 3 years, honestly, I haven't been well. This season has been tough. It's been full of growth. It's been challenging. But most of all, it allowed me to have some time to recharge, to recoup, and to rediscover my voice. I always felt like I was kind of waiting for perfection to start this video, but I felt my purpose has been renewed, and I feel like God has put in my heart that the season that I've been going through will not go in vain. And I guess this would be the message for you guys. Your pain has purpose. Your pain has purpose. This channel is for those who have been lost and are determined to not stay there. Whether you're here for tips, motivation, or just unfiltered, real conversation, I'm grateful that you're here. Thanks for sticking with me, and I hope that you can leave here feeling seen, heard, and uplifted. Proverbs 1:39 says, "You are fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works." Now, to be honest, guys, I haven't felt that way in this season. I went through many ups and downs that I may share in the future if I feel it's edifying to uplift you guys, if it's necessary to uplift and inspire. For the past 3 years, I kind of felt like I hadn't been myself. And you know that saying that says it's okay to not be okay? Yeah, I've been there. Figuring out, recouping, and trying to figure out where I was, and being in the calm, being in the quiet. I took time off. I took a lot of time off this year because I realized that I hadn't been okay. And I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but your mind has the ability to change. And there's something called neuroplasticity. And neuroplasticity is you rewiring your brain. Now, for those who don't know a little bit of my channel, it is based on Christian faith, but it is also based on like just everyday principles, everyday social sciences discovery. I'm someone who likes to research and find out about the brain, find out about, sorry, the sun is like halfway through my face. I like to discover why people think the way they are. I like to discover what holds us back as human beings. And this is going to be the intro to what this podcast is, or this YouTube channel is going to be about. And I could say a lot, but I really want to keep it short for the purpose of this introduction. For 1 whole year, Oh, the past 2 years, I had really been challenging. I had really been going through some tough mental health. My mental health wasn't okay. I wasn't okay. Um, I was dealing with a lot. And to the mothers out there, uh, keep fighting. Keep fighting for your babies. Keep, keep, keep fighting. Your mental health is so powerful. Uh, I had a flow of how I wanted this to go, but I'm really working on this channel to not be caught up in perfection. I want this to be something where you feel seen and heard, and women especially, but men can get with it too. Um, I'll have these conversations when I'm talking, and I'll have conversations when I'm actually talking to someone who could add value to the conversation. Whether I can bring something or someone else can bring something, I want you to get unstuck. I want you to grow, and I want us to learn, grow, heal, and thrive together. So back to the conversation. This year was hard. In the past 2 years, I was stuck. I felt stuck. I was going through a lot in my journey, and I felt stuck. I felt stuck. This is hard for me to talk about because it took a lot for me to even do this video, but I have to be authentic. I felt stuck, and I appreciate the people that could see me. It was a very, very rough journey. It still is. And somehow my faith was able to be sustained through it. I was watching this guy named Joe Dispenza. I don't know if you guys know him, but he's this guy that really talks about the mind and neuroplasticity and how you can rewire your mind and rewire your belief system. Same kind of function that applies to the Word of God. But I tried different things, and I could share a little bit of my journey in depth. I didn't know how to get unstuck. I caught myself being very down, very depressed. I almost felt like I was being buried. But I felt God really telling me, you're not being buried, you're being planted. In this whole year, I was out of social media. I was out of a lot of things. Not that social media is bad for, you guys do what you got to do. I just really had to reflect. I had to stay still, and staying still is very uncomfortable. But the main consistent message that I kept on receiving in my heart is, count it all as joy when you go through trials and tribulation, for the testing of your faith produces patience. Now let patience have its perfect work, so that you can be complete, lacking nothing. I always hated that verse, to be honest. I hated it because why should I count it as joy for going through trials and tribulation? What's so joyful? Like, who counts it as joy? No, I don't count it as joy. This is just painful. But when you keep living, you will realize that life is going to keep lifing. Just a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I was close to losing my faith when I was just considering the things that I was going through and asking God, like, why? If you love me, like, why would you let me go through this? Like, do you think this is going to make me love you more? Like, are you even there? Do you even really care? Do you think this is going to make you, like, me want to serve you more? Like, I was real and I was raw, and I think it was just the accumulation of everything. Growing up, like, as a PK, I never felt like I could be raw and real with God. And 2 weeks ago, I felt like I was ready to let it go. I was ready to let this faith thing go. And I had to go through that journey. I had to go through that. And I was real with God, real about things that I was dealing with, rather real about my son. Yeah. Somehow. You guys, if you guys know the story of Job in the Bible, I never understood how he could say, even if he slays me, yet I will trust you. I will trust him. He lost his property, his riches, everything, till the point where he was even physically looking lost. Like, it boils on his face. He had physical manifestations just of like the season he was in. He was being like really tested, attacked. And his wife told him to curse God. His friends told him he must have sinned. And sometimes when we go through struggles, we feel like we did something wrong to God, and we get caught up in the works and trying to like pray and do right and like try to figure out. Like, I got to a place where I went from like praying and fasting to like being so mad at God. And I think that was the realest I had ever been. I was real and I was mad. I was like, I don't know how I can serve you when you allow these things to happen. After 3 days, I was kind of like, okay, I need you, because I'm in a place where no one could help me but God. This year alone, I went through seasons of like trying out antidepressant, trying out this, trying out that. As I was doing that, I looked up some affirmations on just being a mother. And one of the affirmations said, what is the biggest lesson your child is teaching you right now? What are some of the lessons that you've learned from your child? If you're a mom, I mean, already, if you've given birth, if you've held a baby in your womb, that's just that. But this season, the affirmation was basically saying, I am embracing and growing from the lessons. I'm embracing the lessons I'm growing. I'm getting through motherhood. And I stopped and asked myself, what are some of the lessons? Number one, and this is for you who may be watching and going through your personal struggle. I will ask you the same thing. What are some of the lessons that the struggle is asking you? I mean, the struggle is teaching you. And it goes back to that verse that I was saying. Count it all as joy, for the trying of your faith produces patience. Now let patience have its perfect work, so you can be complete, lacking in nothing. One of the lessons is resilience. My child has taught me how to be resilient. My child has taught me how to fall, cry, get back up, give up, get back up, give up, get back up, cry myself to sleep, get back up. Because when you love something so much, you will fight. The other lesson that I learned is how much I can love. The capacity to love someone through their ups and downs. I've learned unconditional love as a mother. And most of you mothers can tell me that. Could probably attest to that. But unconditional love, I don't even know if it's a rare thing. Now, this personal journey I've been having with my child has taught me that my heart can expand. I didn't know how much my heart could feel. This season of my life has taught me how much I can love. And it's funny because I told you guys I'm like a researcher too. I looked up muscles and I heard the speaker talking about, muscles only grow when they've been ripped. Like the testing of your faith sometimes has to be ripped. Like your faith has to break to expand. That would be the third lesson. Sometimes we get to places in our life, we feel guilty that we're almost losing our faith, that we have maybe lost our faith, or that life has really broken us. But your faith has to actually break. And if at the end of that journey you do decide, you still choose to believe in God, that's when it expands. Now, our body's made up of at least 600 muscles, right? Muscles everywhere from your legs, your body, your brain, not your brain. Does your brain have muscles? I don't know. Just 600 muscles that your brain has. And I was curious to find out when I heard that saying that muscles get stronger after they've been teared. And when you're in a gym and you're pumping up weights, you're lifting weights, usually after repetitive pressure, weightlifting, weight resistance, the more you add weights to your muscles, after a while, they tear. And your body, after rest, obviously persistent weight and rest, your body finds a way to heal itself. And in order to heal that tear, it makes it even stronger. It builds it up. It builds up your muscles and adds stronger muscles. And that's how you start to buff up. You start to have muscles. And I felt God telling me that, yeah, you broke. You broke in this fight of faith. You broke. But you got stronger. I'm making you stronger. You had to break for the next level of faith. I'm making you stronger. That was for me. This whole year I've been doing things through my works, through my strength, through my energy. The climax was losing my faith and being so mad at God and giving up. God, why would you let this happen to me? I served you. Why, my child? Why me? But guys, when you get back up from that, oh, there's no going back. When you get back from wanting to give up and you didn't break, when you were pressed, persecuted, struck down, but you didn't break, it's the same thing like those muscles, baby. You are getting bigger. You are getting tougher. You are getting stronger. And yes, that's when you count it as joy. Because the testing of your faith is building up muscles. Now, I want to talk to some real folks that are going through some real shit, okay? If it doesn't break you, baby, you're only going up from here. You're only going up from here. that's what I wanted to share. I know that in seasons, women, mothers, people in general, I know this is my personal journey, because even though I'm still in the wilderness, I am stronger. And you guys know that quote that says, yeah, this is tough, but I'm tougher. That's what happens when your faith has been tested and tested and tested, and it breaks. And somehow it grows up again. That next level, that next dimensions, that next dimension, you won't even understand it, because now it's supernatural. Now it's God. Now it's God's strength. Like, you got this. After you've broke, and you still decided to pick up the torch and fight the good fight of faith, can't nothing hold you back. You got this. So this is my journey right now. And guys, I will have these intimate conversations sometimes. For those who are ready to get, if you with it, you with it. If you know, you know. I will have these conversations. Sometimes I'll have a guest. But again, I'm not getting caught up in perfection, because I'm just trying to be obedient, because I felt like I needed to do this. If you've been a follower and this ain't your thing, just live a little bit. It might be. But this is what I wanted to share with someone. The testing of your faith, and even the breaking of your faith, doesn't scare God, doesn't intimidate him. But when your faith does break, it is necessary, because now, do you really believe in this thing? Do you really believe in this thing? And some of you guys have been so disappointed by faith. I get it. Based on what you see in the media, what you see in people, but these are people. People are flawed. We are flawed. We are all on a journey. But there comes a time where I'm at is like, I don't want to do this thing without God. And I hope I can look back at this one day, and I've seen how far I've come, and I'm like, I'm glad I did not give up the faith. We are pressed, but not crushed. Persecuted, but not abandoned. Struck down, but not destroyed. So whoever is out there, to the mother out there who's struggling in motherhood, to the woman out there who's struggling with life, to anyone out there that's fighting the good fight of faith, keep moving forward. We're not going back there. You're not going back to that girl. That's not you. We're not. It's part of your story. It's part of you, but we're not going back there. We are fighting the good fight of faith. We are learning, we're growing, we're healing, we're thriving. That's where we're going. So thank you guys for sticking with me. Thank you for listening to this video. It will probably also maybe be a podcast in the audio version. We'll see. But for now, I just had to start. So I love you guys. God sees you. Remember that. And